I want to divorce my husband after I cheated on him.
That's fair, right?
My husband, 34 male, let's call him John, and I, 43 female, have been married for 4 years and together for 5. To explain the whole story, I'll start at the beginning. By the way, this comes from Belgian Waffles 777, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. So, before our wedding, I asked John if he had any debts, and he said no. I also asked if he had a driver's license, and he said yes. However, 3 months before our wedding in July, I learned from his landlord that he hadn't been paying rent and had a court order to pay up. Since he wasn't honoring the payments, we arranged to cover what he owed to keep him out of trouble. This upset me, and I started having doubts and feeling bad vibes.
Uh-oh.
I should mention that I am a Christian, although much of my family is Muslim. When I met John, he assumed that being half Moroccan, I would automatically be Muslim. However, I made many changes in my life to become a better person and embrace my Christian faith. John, who was raised Catholic, had converted to Islam. You guys swapped.
Wow, they really did.
I never pressured him to change religions, but after many discussions comparing the Bible and the Quran, he expressed a desire to return to Christianity and started Bible study.
Okay, 3 things.
Yes.
He has no debts.
Yeah.
He has a driver's license, or like, I guess legal
So he
documents.
says.
And he's gonna convert back Christianity. What I can already see here is 1, he's a liar, and 2, equal yoke as a Christian. That's kind of like one of the things, like, before you get into it, it's important. Like, not like on the same page about certain things, but like you kind of have the same mindset towards things. You guys work like hard at the same things.
Yeah.
See if this happens.
Yeah.
Because I already see a lot of setting self up for failure here.
Yep. After learning about his debt and dishonesty, I was ready to call off the wedding. I suggested we spend some time apart to work on ourselves and our faith. I have a dark past and my faith has freed me from it. John knew how important this was to me. He begged me not to leave, saying he wanted the same things in life and felt he had finally found purpose and truth. He promised to quit smoking and make positive changes.
Oh no, these are, you gotta pray about it. Both of you gotta pray about it.
Eventually, I gave in. Today, I knew this was a mistake, but I've always put others' needs before my own. That's my biggest flaw. We got married in October, and for a while, things seemed okay. Then in January, his salary was garnished for debts he had forgotten about. He always had explanations, blaming the system or saying he was a victim of circumstances.
OP is a victim of circumstances.
Before the wedding, I had purchased a BMW for myself. We often argued over the car because I've always been independent, going where I need to as a single mother of 3. John, who previously relied on public transport, started insisting that he couldn't waste time on a 2-hour commute from work, pressuring me to let him use my car. In April, my daughters wanted to start driving lessons, and I learned I was pregnant. I asked John to be their driving instructor. In Belgium, an experienced driver can teach students to drive after passing a small test. John signed up, but when my daughters went to City Hall with their father to complete the paperwork, they discovered John had no registered license. My ex-husband called me to break the news.
Oh.
When I confronted John, he admitted, "I didn't know how to tell you." I was angry and humiliated, especially hearing it from my ex-husband. I could have been in serious trouble for lending John my car when he didn't even have a license.
Dude.
That was the first thing that you knew about him.
No, she didn't know. He just said I had
yeah,
one.
I know. That's what I'm saying. That's the first
Oh.
thing that you said. Like, he told you about himself, or maybe not the first thing, but like,
Dude.
you asked him that. You said, "Do you have a license?" He was like, "Yup."
Doesn't it suck to downgrade from being single to being with this man?
Yeah.
What?
Still, he hadn't considered the risk. He only thought about himself. Meanwhile, I was studying to be a dental assistant, caring for the family, managing my pregnancy, and paying off his debts. Then I found out he'd spent $300 gambling online. I was furious because I'd made so many financial sacrifices. He promised he'd never do it again, and I forgave him, reminding him of his promise to quit smoking before our baby was born. Despite repeatedly swearing he wasn't smoking, I kept catching him in the act. As time went by, John insisted on buying a house, saying we needed more space and that it would be something to leave for our daughter. I was living in a social housing arrangement that offered stability, especially if John lost his job, our rent would decrease. But he pressured me, and 5 months after our daughter was born, we bought a house.
Oh, boy.
Get out! Get out!
Question. We bought a house? Or you bought a house?
Yeah, he's got all that debt. Not long after, I started suspecting he was hiding something. I asked if he was seeing another woman, but he denied it, calling me paranoid. My instincts told me to check his phone, and in August, I found that he wasn't seeing another woman. He was gambling. Our mortgage payments on casino games. Girl, let's leave. Let's leave.
My brother, don't you understand? Those are rigged.
Yeah.
Rigged.
To try to cover it up, he took out 3 secret loans totaling about $9,000 using my information without my knowledge and $2,000 in debts. He has put our family at risk. John has an easy way of washing off his guilt, and the only thing that brings him joy is booze. Many times he has crossed the line due to heavy consumption, like pulling on the emergency brake while I am driving with our baby in the back because he was angry that I wouldn't let him drive. He doesn't have a license.
Girl, you got to put yourself first in front of him.
Leave this man.
Well, she was driving and he just...
Yeah, I'm sorry. With your baby? Bye. All the doors upstairs are broken in because of his outbursts. He never considered my needs. If I wanted to cut my hair, he'll tell me things like, we don't have the money for that. Your hair's fine. Even if it's been years since my last cut. But he cuts his hair every month. And when I tell him that, he has the audacity to say, well, it's not the same budget. So $100 a year is too much? I now have to forget about myself when he knows that I used to be pampered head to toe, hair, nails, and clothes. I've always taken good care of my appearance, but now because of the financial mess he made, I have to forget about myself. My other 3 children's needs? You had 3 kids with this man?
She had 3 kids before.
Oh.
She had 2 kids before, and I think 1 with him.
2 kids and then 1 with him. You need to leave. But as long as he and our daughter are taken care of, that's all that matters.
Or I think she had 3 before and then 1 with him. So she has 4 in total, but he doesn't care about the other 3.
Girl, leave him. He's like he offers nothing.
Yeah, he does. He offers stress.
No, that's true.
And he's a money hole.
Yeah.
Honestly, if you got too much money, you got to get one of these around
You
you.
got it. Yeah, you can't have all this money. Almost a year after the gambling episode and the many fights over his drinking habits and the lying about his cig consumption, he swears to God he hasn't smoked, calls me crazy, says I persecute him. He finally admits it when I find a pack of cigs in our new car.
Dude.
The car was also a big source of arguments. I didn't want us to buy a car over $15,000, but he argued every day about how he knows how to fix BMWs and that they're quality cars.
No. Sorry for everyone that has a BMW. I have never heard any other car that gets brought into a shop more than a BMW.
I just think this man is stupid.
Well, he is. He said that about BMWs.
Yeah.
Not saying like BMWs are bad cars, but they do need to require a lot of maintenance with oil and things like that.
Sure.
If you want something, you just need a Camry. Get a Camry.
Well, I know they're good cars. I mostly drove BMWs before marrying him, but I tried to keep us on budget after all the financial difficulties, where he absolutely calculates nothing. So my mistake, I finally gave in. We bought a $28,000 car on credit. The credit is in our names, but I contracted it in my bank because the interest was lower, so you paid for it.
I am shocked how this woman got with this man.
I don't understand.
Why you were still with him.
And that's when he started to change. What do you mean he started to change?
Okay.
Before me, John had debts, was about to be evicted from his place, had no car nor license, no friends or family close to him except his father, who always pulled him out of trouble, but even he is fed up now with all of his son's crap. But now John was starting to feel like a man. Here we are at the end of May, and I started seeing him come home and go to work in a good mood. Way too good of a mood. You have to know that John is never in a good mood unless he has a glass of booze in his hand. Yikes.
Girl.
Again, my lanterns lit up. I knew another woman was behind this, making him smile. I definitely wasn't the one making him so cheerful. Our daughter never made him this happy. I felt so angry because he would never hug me or show me love and affection. We have spicy sleep twice a month max, and I have never pushed him away despite all the deceptions and lies. The problem in our spicy sleep life, again, is him. But even if he neglected me, I never would have let some other man get closer to me. So anyways, I know something is up again. And he casually talks about this new colleague one day. How she's been moved to a new position. Now he feels sorry for her because she was being pestered. We'll call her Nas, 33 female.
Oh boy, don't worry about her.
Now I know my husband, he doesn't give a dang about anyone. And he was all, poor girl, about her. I knew she was the reason for him smiling so much. Anyway, to make a long story short, he denied doing anything wrong with her, but they were deleted calls and messages, and he lied about hanging out with her after work. When I confronted him on that, he called her to have her say that nothing was going on between them. Wow.
Beautiful. Yeah,
you
yeah.
called her okay.
Yeah.
But she did admit to having chatted with him after work that day, when he, on the other hand, had made up a story about why he came home so late. I got angry, and he had the audacity to leave and call her. To me, that was drawing the line. I felt like he was choosing her over me. He literally has never once chosen you. Not once did he suggest blocking her or cutting ties with her. Instead, he nags me and says, she and I talk at work, and we both agree to say that you're crazy.
Oh my gosh.
I was fed up. So I told him that even if I don't have enough proof to divorce on the basis of adultery, I want a marriage contract or I'm gone. His response was to go out, cut his phone off, and come back at 9:30 a.m. wasted with the BMW insured and bought in my name. So I left. I was determined to divorce because before I left, I placed spyware on his phone and could see that he was still texting and talking to Nas. This relationship is so unhealthy.
It's unhealthy.
Like, he's financially and also, like, he's punching walls, so it's just not...
He's not a good person to be around.
Not a good person.
And he's pushed you to your limits where you're also not a good person to be around him.
Yeah, like you're putting spyware on his phone.
You
like,
guys
if you
have
have
made
to
the-
do that with a partner, that partnership is done.
Yeah. Unless partner is your target.
And
And it's been your target all along to find out secret information to save your country.
Yeah, and then you realize that you're both in love with each other.
Like Mr. and Mrs. Smith, the original movie, kind of plot twist.
Exactly. He was only worried about getting back to the BMW I confiscated and that chick. I left for 3 months and stayed with my best friend who had a 1-bedroom apartment and her mom was staying with her. So it was complicated for my other 2 children to stay with us. They stayed with their dad and we could see each other as much as we could. I finally gave the BMW back and that idiot sold it for supposedly $18,000 after 6 months of purchasing it and never paid off the credit with the money. Instead, he bought a 2011 Audi A5 for $15,000. How stupid is that? So now we're paying a $28,000 credit for a 15-year-old car worth $15,000. $329 a month for a car that can't even have Omnium insurance on it because it's too old. If he crashes it, they won't give him a new one, but the credit will still have to be paid. I have never seen such stupidity. For my part,
yes,
my
you
mistake,
have.
yeah.
It's every day that you've been with
Every
this
day.
man. It's yourself.
He's never once been smart.
And now, you're not the smart one because you
Yeah.
keep being with him.
Well, the thing is, like, she left him.
They're separated.
They're separated, yeah. They're not legally divorced, but they're separated. He's with that girl, Nas, and she's separated.
Yeah.
Legally divorced this man. But
Ugh.
maybe it's like religious things. She doesn't want to divorce him.
That's also another thing. I'm kind of like, why did you not pray about this before getting into it if you were reluctant about a few things? Because also, like, not even religion, but money is talked a lot in the Bible. It's like mentioned like 127 times. It's
A really specific amount.
yeah. They're like, you should do this with your money. And if you're with someone that isn't wise with their money, that's, I don't know. It, like, girl.
He's also a lot younger than her.
yeah.
Yeah, like it feels like this man is just like over has proved that he's very immature and also kind of abusive.
Yeah.
Not more than
Girl.
kinda.
Get out of there.
For my part, my mistake is that I communicated with an ex-boyfriend. We will call him Suf, 31 male. I ended things abruptly in 2018 and cut contact with him when I met and started dating John in 2020. During my marriage, I never once spoke to him, even when I was hurt or disappointed in John. But I knew in my heart that Suf would always love me and would forever be my biggest love. I would often miss him very much. Then go get in with him. Leave this stupid John. I missed being loved and held the way he would hold me. I missed being understood and cherished. I missed laughing with every inch of my body with just one look. Our relationship was unique, and we were one. I was just sad that John never wanted us to work as one. He always worked against me and had little faith in me and my abilities. Most people around me trust my judgment and ask me for advice because I am a very analytical person when it comes to others. But you're just not good at analyzing your own relationship?
Hey, coaches don't play.
Apparently. She does, yeah, she's in a relationship, but she just doesn't play well. But John just likes to shut me up as if I were the stupid one. Anyways, Suf still had contact with one of my brothers, and he found out about our split. So he wanted to reach out to see how I was doing. I have to admit that Suf really said things that helped me with my self-esteem, because at that point I was just a mess. We knew that a relationship would be complicated because our faiths are different. He is Muslim and I am Christian. Our morals are different. He is into dirty money. What does that mean?
He's gamble. Suf or John?
Suf.
Oh, I don't know.
How is he into dirty money? John's literally gambling all of your money away.
Drugs
John's into
or-
being broke.
Or maybe like laundry money where like it's just dirty. It's like, it's not anything that's dirty. It's just like, it needs to be cleaned.
Yeah, it's just physically dirty. We have a 12-year age gap and he wants children. You have a 12, how old are you?
Maybe Suf is like,
I thought he was 31 though.
I can look real quick.
Yeah. Yeah, it says Suf, 31 male.
Hope is 43.
Oh, he's 12 years younger.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay. I'm pretty sure John is also pretty young too. I think he's like 34.
Yep.
So just to remind everyone, John is 34, OP is 43, and Suf is 31. I feel like...
He's a newly 30, not just has been 30.
Yeah, but she's like, oh, the 12-year age gap. Like, she's already in a relationship that has like a 9-year age gap. What's the difference, you know?
3 years does a lot.
Guess so. I mean, John's pretty immature though, which I can't see myself going through again.
She's 43.
So we agreed to remain friends, especially since I was going through a divorce process and my life was complicated enough. We were just not going to go there. But I welcomed his friendship because it helped me a lot psychologically, and he also helped me out a bit financially with my lawyer and by putting gas in my car, things like that. In August, things got carried away between us, and we did end up sleeping together on a few occasions. But my Christian conscience was tormenting me, and I told him that we had to stop. Even though I wanted a divorce, I had to tell John and my congregation to soothe my conscience. You had to tell the entire congregation?
Some people are just so convicted they gotta get it out.
I would understand if you had to tell, like, you know, you went the priest. The
Well-
entire congregation?
Well, let's say you're in a leadership role in your church and you do something like this. You gotta kind of fess up because you can't seem hypocritical. Because in a way, in the Christian mindset, this is adultery,
Yeah.
and she's gotta kind of fess up. Like I've seen people in the church where they've had to step down because of their personal choices.
Yeah.
And they've been like, hey, we're stepping down
Yeah,
because
so
of
maybe
this.
that's this.
Because they're kind of like a family,
Yeah.
but like with rules and yeah. So that's how I see it.
Suf knows that God has become very important to me, and he totally understands. We decided to cut ties. A couple of days later, I argued with my best friend, and I was really missing my family life. I left her place and slept in my car, and when John found out, he told me to come back even though we were divorcing. I agreed for the sake of everything. My best friend was going through depression, and I was tired of walking on eggshells in my condition. I came back the last weekend of August and stood firm in my decision to divorce. But I did tell him about Suf and what happened, and I also told my congregation to come clean about my sins. He was angry even though we were divorcing, and he felt hurt. How dare I step out of our marriage without the divorce being final? Dude, you were doing that. And also, you were doing that while you guys were actually still together. You were separated when she got with Suf. You were in the
Yeah.
process of divorce.
It's
like,
just the state didn't see you guys as
Yeah.
divorced.
I told him I only felt guilty in front of God. Towards him, I felt nothing. He pretended to have never cheated and that I was a woman of low standards. And he wasn't like me. He said he had nothing with Nas, but I still had access to his messages, and he was telling Nas that not a day went by that he didn't think of her. But to me, he was sending messages like, I forgive you, I still love you. How pathetic.
I saw something recently where when a woman cheats on a man, the man asks, did you have sex with him? While when a woman finds out that their husband cheated on them, she asks, do you still love her?
Interesting.
Yeah. He's like, this is my thing. This is my thing. Why did you do this to my thing?
Yeah.
And she's like, did you have an intimate? Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's interesting to see here because this got brought up.
Plus, he started doing live TikTok battles.
Oh my gosh, dude. What? How do these content creators just somehow show up in these stories?
I don't understand.
It happened in the last episode. What?
And well, friends and family were telling me about seeing John on TikTok, and it really embarrassed me. He was changing, his language was vulgar, and he was becoming dumb. He was already dumb. I am not judging people on TikTok, but at least put in some content, not just sitting there with people with no goals yelling tap, tap, tap all night long. I was grossed out. So anyway, September went by and we went to see my lawyer together to set our divorce agreements outside a courtroom. John started realizing what life would be like for him after the divorce. He would see me leave the house, go to the gym, and become filled with jealousy. But to me, that wasn't love. So he finally begs me to give him one last chance. Girl, if you do this, I'm going to be mad at you.
Don't give him another chance.
I'm going to be mad at you if you give him another chance.
Please.
He said he would do anything to get me back. Everything is his fault. He wants a Bible study. He wants us to get help for our marriage, and he promises to quit smoking.
Like how you got married. He's just telling you things you want to hear.
At the beginning of October, I finally agree and decide to see what he'll do.
I can't.
OP!
I can't. You lost here. This is on you, man.
You suck.
You were as dumb as he is. Who's dumber?
Come on.
She's dumber.
I mean, they're dumb in different ways. Like she just can't see. I don't know. She can't get out of this attached mindset to him. She feels stuck or something.
I think the big question here, technically he is dumber.
Yeah.
But if you keep seeing yourself being hurt in these situations, you keep putting yourself in these situations and not removing you or your family.
Yeah.
Who actually is dumber?
I just think that like you can't like. Obviously, there's a manner, there's matters of like abuse kind of going on here where he's pulling her back in, love bombing, etc., etc. But don't settle for this behavior.
Yeah.
Leave. Go find Soof.
Yeah, be with Soof, man. Like, even if you guys disagree on some things, your life will be 100 times more easier than this.
He knows I'm not fond of TikTok, but I didn't tell him straight out to stop. 1 month goes by, no Bible study. Not once did we look into marriage counseling. He's obsessed with TikTok, spending his spare time in his car doing live battles. He even spends money on TikTok, but the electricity bill wasn't paid for 4 months. His insurance wasn't paid for 3, but I'm supposed to not judge him. He, who is trying to make money on TikTok. I don't like how he talks to me. He says that he likes TikTok, that the time for dictatorship is over, that he's not scared of me, and that I can't ask for a divorce just because he doesn't care about religion. Yes, you can ask for a divorce for anything. And also, I'm asking you to listen to full episodes of stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. Dude.
So, if we're playing divorce in the Christian confounds, one of the things that divorce is like got the green light for is unfaithfulness.
Yep.
I would argue in some scenarios that unfaithfulness also means with money as well.
Yeah.
And
he's stolen your money.
Yeah.
He's literally already cheated on you.
So within the within the Christian confounds, he was unfaithful. That's cause for divorce. For some interpretations of it, he was also unfaithful with you with the money situation. So you can divorce, okay, if that's what's holding you back.
And also, he's only with you for your money.
Oh yeah.
Because he knows that you're gonna pay off his debts.
Yep. You're like his dad. You just keep bailing him out of things. You keep giving into this behavior.
Yup. But there's a little bit more to the story. We had an agreement that he would help me put aside $10,000, and I'm sure he
so we can buy another
honored
car.
That agreement. Yeah.
So we can gamble,
whether we divorced or not, just as security because I have zero trust in him and his word. In case of divorce, I would leave with the $10,000 and let him have the house. But he's been saying things like, why should I give you money if we're not divorcing? He keeps zero promises. So now I want to take him to court and try to get the house. I have 3 kids to raise. I gave up everything for him and gave into everything, and he has just been a deceitful husband. But am I the a-hole for asking for the divorce, trying to take the house, even if I technically am the cheater? You're literally not. I have no proof of him having an affair. Yes, you do. You have so many of these chats, and never will. He will lie to till his last lying, stinking breath.
Okay.
Folks, that's the end of that story.
I have some math that I did here.
Yeah.
So one, earlier in the story, we saw that he had $11,000 in debt that he accumulated for gambling.
Yeah.
2, a house payment. Let's just say he got a house for like $150,000 and split it. That's 75 grand. And then on top of the 10 grand he wasted with the car, he has $96,000, $100,000 minimum in debt here.
Yeah.
I understand that you seem to put on a lot of yourself because earlier you said that you put other people before yourself.
Yeah, clearly.
It seems that you're putting this guilt that you cheated on him as the biggest thing because you want to keep your conscience clear, but we're also missing that he cheated on you in an emotional and probably physical sense.
While you guys were actually still together, and then you were separated. And then you got with someone else while you were separated.
So let's line these facts up here. Get rid of the self-guilt that you have about yourself. See it how it is. Take a step back. Yes, you can forgive yourself if that's what you need to do.
Divorce him.
Get out of here.
Divorce.
You're as stupid as he is if you're going to stay in this. I'm going to keep saying it.
You need to leave.
Goodness gracious.
But folks, that's the end of that story.
Got another one.
Yep.
My wife invited her ex to my birthday party without asking me.
I'm uninviting you to my birthday party.
I'm 29 male and my wife is 30 female. We have been together for 5 years. We met each other during a seminar and we clicked and started dating and eventually got married.
Ooh.
My wife already had told me that she was in a very serious relationship with her school friend. It was one of her female friend's brothers. They were planning on getting married, but she fell out of love with him and they broke up when he went for education and a job in a foreign country and hasn't met him for the past 9 years. By the way, this comes from Throwaway29. If you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. So, enough backstory. 5 days ago, it was my birthday. We wanted to do something special, so we were planning for it for a month. We were on a tight budget as well, so we discussed on who we were inviting. Basically, we agreed on both of our families are invited, even extended, and some of our neighbors and our friends and colleagues. Only those we know, though. On that day, I didn't know if my wife invited her ex as well, which was a shock to me. When I saw him, I was really shocked. I called my wife to meet me upstairs. I asked her what he's doing here. She said he came with her sister. I said we will have a discussion later.
Yeah, why wouldn't she have said that? Like, hey, my ex is going to be here.
With your sister? Are him and the sister together or?
Very good question.
On my party, I saw him hugging my wife, and he greeted and hugged me as well. He's just hugging everybody.
He's hugging everybody.
We talked just as formality, and my wife was spending time with her friends, and he also joined, I guess, because he's from the friend circle. Anyway, after the party, I confronted my wife and asked her what she was thinking. She asked me what. I asked her why was her ex here when I never met him before, and why did you not tell me? She said he came back for a few months on holidays, and her friend told her and urged my wife to invite him.
It's like the thing is that she totally could have invited him if she had told her partner about this. Like literally just say, hey, I found out my ex is in town. I haven't seen him in 9 years. Is it okay if he comes to the party?
It's a few words there. I counted 13.
Yeah.
I told my wife that she should have discussed this with me. It's my birthday party, and I should have the right to decide who joins and who doesn't. And it isn't just some random guy. It's your ex. She said it wasn't that big of a deal. It was only for a few hours. She said she didn't tell me because I would object it because she knows me. And she wanted all of her friends to be invited. So she knew he was going to say no.
She knew you were going to say no. She wants all of her friends to be invited to your birthday? It's your birthday.
I completely lost my crap when she said that. So I said, you choose your friends over your own husband? I said in my anger, does she have any idea how it feels to see your partner's ex on your special day, especially when it's for the first time?
Yeah. And you didn't know?
Would you like it if I invite my ex to your birthday party without telling you and my ex is hugging me and laughing with me? Would you be okay with it? It was supposed to be my special day. And you ruined it by inviting your ex. Okay. Ruined it.
Well, yeah. I mean, potentially dramatic. However, I still think he's 100% in the right. She absolutely should not have invited the ex without asking him.
Yeah.
And then kind of downplayed him and like, it's not a big deal. It's a big deal to him.
If it was that big of a deal to me, I would go up to the ex. Thanks for coming. I would like it if you left.
Well, it seems like he didn't want to create a scene. Because he went up to her.
Pull him
He's like,
aside.
we're gonna talk about this later.
Pull him aside.
Yeah.
I was constantly thinking about how he did you for years, and God knows what he actually did to you.
Okay, well, dude, that was a little weird.
You could have kept that to yourself. Would I be thrilled to see a man who effed my own wife on my special day? It would be one thing if it were on friendly terms and we knew each other. If he was my bro, it'd be different. If we were Eskimo bros, we'd be totally different. She started sobbing, said I'm blowing it out of proportion, and it's not that serious. And I'm hurting her with my words. We aren't talking to each other for the past couple of days. She told her parents and sister, and they said that I'm overreacting and it's not that big of a deal. I simply told them that if I invite one of my exes on her birthday party without telling her, would she like it? They said that I would just be taking revenge. I said I wouldn't hurt her, but she should have thought multiple times and discussed with me. And just simply have thought that it might hurt me.
And then listen to him when he said it did hurt him.
So am I the a-hole here?
No, she's the a-hole.
Yeah.
Not only did she not tell you that he was coming, she just will not listen to you after you say, hey, didn't appreciate that. She could have just said, oh my God, I really didn't think it was going to be that big of a deal, but I'm so sorry. I'll make sure in the future, I'll always ask you in these situations.
You smell that?
What?
An old candle rekindling.
Ooh, little flame starting up.
Smells like rosemary. Maybe even lavender.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't trust that anyone in this story. She's making excuses. Her family's making excuses for her.
I don't think, like, what is the ex doing there? I bet he has the best intentions.
Yeah.
Right? After 9 years.
Suspicious.
He's probably like, man, babe, like, come back with me. I can take you to my foreign land and you be living like a queen.
Yeah, sure, right.
Update. First of all, I thank everyone for their advice. I tried my best to not overthink, but after reading the comments, I couldn't brush off the feeling that something is wrong here. I tried so hard to deny it, but I just couldn't because she didn't really apologize. You're right. You're
she
right.
never apologized.
I went to my wife today and asked her to unlock her phone and give it to me.
I mean, yikes, but like at least you're not snooping through it.
There's probable cause here.
Well, it's not even that.
Is there
It's just
enough
like
probable cause here?
I'm just glad that he's not like doing it secretly.
Secretly.
Yeah.
She asked me multiple questions like it was an interrogation or something. Like, why do I want to check her phone? Or do I not trust her? Or did I go crazy because of my jealousy? And many more. But the more I think about it, the angrier I get. She, after pressuring her for a while, gave me her phone. I checked her texts, social media messages, but couldn't find anything at all. So I went to her group text chat and found out that my wife and her ex met each other alone quite frequently ever since he came back.
Ooh, big old lie. Big old lie.
And he was also invited whenever she went out with her friends. But she never told me.
Crazy that she would have gotten away with this had she not invited him to your party.
Yep, like we said, criminals are dumb.
Yeah. Well, I just want. I'm wondering if she like wanted to get caught. Like what?
Yeah, the thrill. It's cheating.
I mean, yeah. She was meeting with her ex-boyfriend for a while without letting you know.
I could get, if I haven't seen my ex that I thought I was going to marry one day and we ended things amicably, I could get maybe asking my wife, hey, do you mind if I go meet them in a
Totally
group
different
for coffee?
Yeah, in a group session, a group kind of situation. Yeah, totally different. If she had asked OP.
If you grew up as like family friends and things like that, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
This though,
alone, without your partner's knowledge.
out with your friends and her friends didn't say anything.
Suspicious.
Your friends didn't say nothing.
And then your friend tells you to invite him to his birthday, to Opie's birthday.
And you get so comfortable that you actually do it.
Yikes.
She's just Now she's just flaunting her stuff, dude.
Yeah, she's like, well, it's gonna come out eventually. Might as well kind of
speed up the
streamline
process.
this. Yeah.
I asked her what this is. She asked me, what?
What? He's like, you meeting up with your ex? She's like, no, I didn't. He's like, I literally,
What?
I see things that say you met up with them. No, no.
No habla español. No habla inglés.
Mm-mm.
Oh man, I said that wrong.
She
Sorry.
doesn't speak English or Spanish. She speaks no language.
I asked her, why did you meet him alone? And why did you never tell me about any of this? Why did you not tell me that you and your friends invited your ex and you all hung out together? My wife said it's not what I think it is. She said it's not just her ex, but a longtime friend. They've known each other for years, even before she met me. And I'm just being jealous, controlling man. And there's nothing suspicious other than we just met and hung out.
Yeah, and didn't tell your partner?
There's a lot of things you can do when you meet and hang out.
Didn't tell your partner? Suspicious.
I said, I love and trust you, but do not take me for a fool. There's no reason for you to be alone with your ex, and behind my back especially. I don't even know who the F this guy is, who the F he is even, and why is he talking to my wife behind my back? And why is my wife meeting him and my own wife defending her ex? I said I'm leaving and we are getting a divorce. Whoa.
Dang, that was
Boom, boom, boom.
that was quick.
I would think a separation, perhaps.
I thought there was going to be like maybe a little bit more conversation, but I guess not.
Is this enough evidence for a cause of divorce?
I don't know. I guess for OP it is.
I would need to know if they did anything physically and emotionally.
I would want to have like more conversations of like, why didn't you not tell me this? But it feels like maybe he's asking about it and she's like playing dumb and he's like, I'm sick of this, divorce.
Yeah, because if your relationship's been going downhill for a while and you've
Yeah.
noticed some things change within the past past month,
Yeah.
my wife started crying, said I don't trust her, and it's not what I think it is. I wanted to calm her down, but I just started walking to the door. My wife held me and got angry and said we can talk and fix the misunderstanding. But I said, I'm not ready to talk, and I'm running out of patience, so please just let me be. And if she wants to be with him, I wouldn't object, and I will pray for a happy life for you. I went to live with my sister for a bit. I told her everything that happened. I must have ranted for a long time. She just listened and said nothing. But in the end, she said my wife is definitely hiding something, and my suspicion is correct. She hugged me, consoled me, and I was drowning in my own thoughts. And my sister noticed it, I guess. My sister said that if she can feel it, that I want to cry, and if I want to, I can cry on her and vent to her instead of bottling it up inside. And she herself started crying. Oh.
They care about you. Cares about you.
To be honest, I really do. But I'm too proud to show the weaker side of me, and I have come here on the internet anonymously. I did so much for my wife. She always threw lavish parties, but when I wanted to do the same after years, she betrayed me in the worst possible way. Okay, I don't know if this is about the party anymore. Dude, low-key, he's probably just still upset about this party.
Yeah, he's just like, my party was supposed to be really cool, and she ruined it, and I'm divorcing her because of it.
She cheated. It's
Just ruined my birthday.
Oh, man. There were 1,000 different ways to hurt me. She chose the worst way to hurt me. Where I am, drinking and thinking about what went wrong and where I was lacking and living with my sister like a loser in his 30s. Dude, he's taking the hard route here.
Yeah, I do. Okay, I don't think that he is necessarily wrong for divorcing her. I think that's his right. Like, she has betrayed his trust.
Yep.
I do think he could ask a couple more questions. I feel like,
Get curious about the situation.
yeah, like she was like, I can explain, and he was like, nope, bye. Like, they're married. At least like talk about the situation. I don't know. Like, if we had confirmation that she had cheated on him emotionally, physically, or whatever, like we had confirmation that they were seeing each other and were in love, blah, 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 then I'd be like, yeah, leave. But I feel like maybe just have one conversation where you guys are a little bit like emotionally kind of more chill. And then after that conversation, if you're like, yep, she has or either continued to lie to me or she tells me the truth and it's that she's been cheating on me, then you get go.
Oh, man. I would need more evidence.
Yeah, I would just want a little, like, I don't even know if it's evidence. I just would want to have like one more like proper conversation before I went through this.
Yeah. Do they have kids?
No.
They don't? Okay. Well, that's good. Update 2. I'm sorry if this is too long. I'm just suffering and overthinking so much I can't even think properly, but I try my best to keep it as short as possible. So we get a summary here. Now, yesterday, my wife called me and asked to meet me. I said no and told her, say whatever she wants on the phone. She could not possibly have chosen a worse time to call and piss me off. I was wasted and crying as heck. Though I do not blame her because it was only 11 o'clock in the morning.
Ooh.
Hey, sometimes you got to get the day started early, you know?
Ooh.
You know what I mean? My sober friend.
Yikes.
She started off with saying she's sorry and will do anything to win me back. And she swore she didn't talk to him until he got back. And her friends introduced me to her again, which led to reminiscing. She proposed to me that we should get back and fix our marriage. And she promised me that she will never talk to him again. We should move to a different state and live our life and forget whatever happened. Now, I really wanted to just forgive her and divorce her and didn't want to expose her. But this pissed me off. I started calling her so many names, cursed her like it's rainfall, and everything I held up inside of me came out. I called her a lying, cheating, manipulative witch. Even after all this I did for you, you want to isolate me from my family and have me in your purse? I worked so hard for you, sacrificed everything for you, and you are with your ex? Effing him just because I loved you and took...
We have confirmation that they were effing?
And you took advantage of me? Yeah, I don't know. I swear to the heavens above, even if I go broke, start begging on the street, I will expose you and divorce you. If it was something else, I would have forgiven you in a heartbeat. But you are with your ex-fiance while I'm working for you and giving you most of my money, which made you think I'm a pushover? Wait, I need to understand the working dynamic here. Is she a stay-at-home mom?
Oh, they're not parents. So
She's stay-at-home wife?
I don't really know, but like,
That's what it sounds like.
I feel like he's making a lot of, I don't know.
He's hurt right now.
He's hurt.
He's hurt big time. I hung up on her after ranting and she was crying. I'm done with her and her BS. I immediately told everyone what's going on, which I think after getting cheated on is a smart thing to do because you don't want her to start spreading her rumors.
Sure. I do think that like, it seems like he's kind of implying that he does have confirmation that she cheated. In which case, like, definitely divorce her. But I feel like she hasn't said that yet, but maybe he's just assuming.
Yeah.
She's definitely at least emotionally cheated, though.
Which is much too embarrassing for her. I told them what I saw on text, and many of her family members, mostly cousins, called me and reassured me that they will help me. They said they were as shocked as I was when they saw him, and that they could see it on my face, but they didn't say anything. But they will help me. Except her mom. She's even worse. She started saying in our family chat that I am lying and being jealous and ruining her daughter's life in many, many more ways. Her father called me and said he was sorry, and he knows that I'm not lying, and he's disappointed with how my mother-in-law and wife are acting. But he said he has to take his family side. But he will stay neutral and won't help me legally, but I said I understand.
It seems like she did physically cheat on him. Which in that case, you got your proof. It seems like everyone's kind of on your side.
Would going on a date with your ex be physically cheating?
No, but it is
You're
emotionally.
physically there.
Physically, no, but it's emotional cheating. It wasn't clear what they were doing on those dates, which is why I was like, oh, maybe have that conversation. But it seems like everyone's pretty clear on what was happening. So like, yeah, leave her. And get therapy because you seem really, really in a bad place.
Yeah. My sister hugged me when I told her what I said. She hugged me for what I think is like 10 hours. She cried and said that she had failed as a sister. She should have run background checks on her instead of trusting her and kept kissing me.
What? No, you shouldn't have. Who does that?
Run background
What would you
check.
even have found? What would you have found in the background check? She cheated on her partner. You can't find future cheating on a background check.
I think this is an older sister. You know, just sister. I don't know. I'm assuming older sister.
I don't know what.
Whenever you get your heart broken, whenever you see like a sibling's
background check.
Whenever you see a sibling's heart broken, you're like, I wish I could have done something to prevent this.
Yeah, sure.
I said it's not her fault. She told me the next time she will find a very good woman for me. She will hook me up with one of her friends, and women will be lining up for me for how good of a man I am. That even though I'm suffering so much, I still wanted to defend my wife, which is rare. I don't know if that's true or if she's just
definitely did not want to defend his wife. I mean, like,
little
fair.
part of them probably did, but
I mean, it's fair, but like, he definitely was like, she's hawk, she's a bee. I'm exposing her. I don't know if that's defense.
There's a little guy, and I'm like, but she's your wife. That's probably what he's talking about.
Sure.
I don't know if that's true or she was just comforting me, but dating or getting remarried is the least of my concern.
Yeah, buddy, take some time.
I'm just glad my sister was with me, helping me. Otherwise, I wouldn't be typing here. My sister said that she already had talked to a lawyer, a very good one, and she's her friend, but didn't tell me because I wasn't in the right place. Told me that in our country, there's a mandatory year cool-off period and mandatory counseling at least 2 times a month. And if I don't appear for counseling, the judge might think I'm being unreasonable. And since I have no proof of her affair, divorce might even take years or even a decade. And even if we prove her infidelity, she will get alimony because cheating doesn't revoke her rights from alimony from her husband in our country, which pissed me off even more. But what I'm glad of is that my sister said her friend has a loophole. She will charge us a very huge amount, and considering how many months or years we might fight and sessions, it will drain 90% of my money.
Ooh, wow.
Oh my gosh. And she will either give us back later or give us cash if needed. I'm so glad I have a sister who loves me so much and is so smart and surrounds herself with people like herself. But I'm in the pain.
I just think it's funny because he's like, yeah, my sister found this great solution where I have to pay like 90% of my funds.
Well, she said she'd pay for it.
Oh, okay.
Pay for it upfront in cash. But the pain I'm feeling is not going anywhere and going to stay with me for a long time. And the worst part, even if you drink all day, you will keep overthinking unless you drink till you pass out.
Oh boy, you need to get some therapy big time, bud.
Or just keep drinking till you pass out.
No.
I don't know. He seems like he got a solution here.
Terrible advice. Man.
Dude.
I mean, just think it like, good riddance to your wife. Cheated on you. Please get some therapy. Get some help. You have a support system in your family. Focus on that. And take some time for yourself.
Does it seem a little too soon? Like, maybe should he separate and see this? Because
I think he's already past that. I think he's like full convinced that she is cheated. I do really want to, like, I do think that she's probably has cheated emotionally at the very least. But I do want to hear, like, what her explanation would have been. Like, I want to hear what her excuse was.
Yeah.
Because I feel like we never heard her say, oh, I didn't do that. So either she did it and she just didn't want to lie anymore, or, you know, try and defend herself with lies. But
evidence. Pro evidence. Edit. Thank all of you for your help and time. So glad, your well wishes, and I hope that none of you go through what I went through. I wish you all good luck. I will start focusing on myself and go to sleep. Stop drinking and start thinking about my future. Wait, what are you doing after this?
I don't know. Why?
Because you should listen to OK Storytime on your favorite freaking podcast platform. All you got to do is go to Apple, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and search up what, Sophia?
OK Storytime.
And that's what she's going to do after this one. Just like you should.
You were going to invite me somewhere.
To what? To listen to OK Storytime with me. We can go anywhere. We can literally go in the car, go to the grocery store, listen to OK Storytime.
OK Storytime.
Just like you can. Everyone, you right there. You. Yes. What do you think? Please put in the comments.
Yeah.
Should hear her out a little bit?
The thing is, though, he's already, like, long gone. He's already, like, divorced. We're in the process. Blah, blah, blah. Bye. He's already, like, exposed her to everyone in her family. It's way too late to turn, you know, the brakes, put the brakes on. I do feel like we don't know a lot about this situation, though. And maybe that's because OP hasn't told, like, is withholding information from us.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to know more. Not because I don't think that OP, like, shouldn't have divorced. I think OP has evidence that she at least emotionally cheated.
Yeah.
But I just want more information in general.
I want to catch him red-handed.
Yeah. I just want her
If
to
your
admit
partner's
something.
cheating on you, no matter what country you're in, you just should have the right to divorce immediately. I read something else online. Isn't it crazy how easy it is to get married and how hard it is to get divorced?
Yeah.
Do you think it should be harder to get married and easy to get divorced? What do you think?
Maybe just the same.
You think the same?
Yeah.
Okay.
Equal.
I'm pro marriage counseling before.
Yeah. Same.
Finish this story. But as glad as I'm getting support from hundreds of strangers, it also makes me think that there are hundreds of strangers willing to support me and help me. The only woman I ever desired this from and was my everything, spent my whole life with her, didn't support me and betrayed me. I will come back here to read the text to find comfort every time I need an update after my divorce, which might take years. And I read someone said about an emotional affair. Even if it is just an emotional affair, I cannot tolerate it, and I have no way to prove or make sure of it. She's cheating on me because she is with him alone or with her friends. But the way she and her friends hid it all, I can only assume she loves her ex-fiance. Otherwise, she wouldn't hide it from me, and nobody should tolerate emotional affairs. There's no justice wherever it's a man or a woman. I thought all of this was just stereotypical, but now I know my country is hated on for a reason. Good luck to everyone, and I truly, truly appreciate every single one of you.
Wow.
Have you seen Nathan For You?
Yeah.
The second season?
No.
Have you seen the rehearsal?
No.
It's from Nathan.
I know about it. Yeah.
There's this one part of the thing where he's like doing this like exercise with the pilot, and the pilot invites his girlfriend over to help him out. And come to find out, the girlfriend's pilot is a barista at a very famous barista place where baristas work.
You mean the pilot's girlfriend?
Yeah, the pilot's girlfriend.
Okay.
Very famous barista. And they're long distance. She meets up with the guy, goes out for coffee with him, and she has an anklet that the guy gave to her, and he brings her flowers and stuff. And while they're in the cockpit doing this exercise, she's like explaining that to him, and you can see how visibly upset he is, but she can see like, oh, there's nothing wrong with that. That's just like a friend. Doesn't mean anything. If you bring flowers to someone on a date, is that a friend?
What, is it a date? You just said on a date. If it's a date, then it's not a friend. Do you just mean if you bring flowers to someone?
Yeah, so like, for example, you and I,
Yeah.
we go to get coffee. You bring me flowers. Is it a date or are we just friends?
We're just friends.
I bring you flowers.
You've gotten me flowers.
Yeah, but like that's different. Okay. Anyways, separate. Let's do a different one.
Okay.
Angie and I are long distance.
Yeah.
Angie works at a barista place.
Yeah.
This guy starts talking to her.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, let's go get coffee sometime. Brings her flowers.
Date.
That's what
It doesn't work because
Yeah. Okay.
It doesn't work
our
for
relationship's
us.
different. I forgot. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is. I think the wife views it that way.
Yeah.
Just a longtime friend.
Yeah.
We're getting to know each other. I knew you wouldn't like it. That's why I didn't say anything.
Which is a breach of trust. I don't know if she cheated. We don't have he
Was
really always working off of like zero evidence. Not to say that he's not wrong.
Yeah. She
And
was
she's-
selfish though.
She was selfish. She still broke his trust. All grounds for, breaking off the marriage. But I do think the only thing I would say to him is that he seemingly has told everyone in her family that she cheated on him. And it seems like he said physically cheated on, which we don't know.
We don't know.
We don't know if she did that.
I don't know. I think it's fine because she wouldn't stop bothering him about it though.
Yeah. No, I think it's fine that he like broke up and stuff. I
But
just think
do you think it's fine that he messaged everyone in the family?
that's the only thing is that I feel like he assumed a lot of things and messaged them about all of his assumptions as if they were fact. That is
Okay.
the only thing I'm like, It's like, yeah, you could absolutely message them and be like, hey, we're breaking this off because of this and this reason. This is the information I have.
That's why I think more evidence comes into play.
Yeah, because I feel like it's I don't know. Literally, like, he has total right to divorce her. If he wants to tell the family why he's divorcing her, sure. However, I think to say that she physically, like, it seems like he's implying that he told them that she physically cheated with this guy as if it's fact when he doesn't know that.
We could have constructed a better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I'm like,
You need screenshots at that point. You need time
Yeah.
stamps. You need all that kind of things.
Yeah.
There's got to be a job that someone creates these messages for people.
Yeah.
Hey, can you send a mass email out to my family that my wife cheated on me? Here's all the evidence I have. Can you make it look pretty?
Partiful. My wife cheated on me in group text or group blast. Text blast.
Definitely a ChatGPT plugin that does that.
Dang, man.
Guys, that's the end of that story.
Oh, dang.
Yep.
And the end of this episode.
So, if you love us, make sure to subscribe.
We love you
And see you tomorrow.